How you guys doing today? It's autotips.ca coming to you live from Kitchener. Today we're going to be talking about batteries. There's a lot of applications over there, so every car has its own specification. So for that, you're going to need your owner's manual. We need few of those. So the car that we're working on is a 2008 Nissan Rogue. And if you go on the index, usually in the back of the book, you have the B, and then you're going to go under battery. That will show you your car specifications. But today we're going to be talking about the BCI, Battery Console International, I think that's what's called. And that's what governs the groups of the batteries. That's called group sizes. So this car, its group size is 35. So the way it works with the BCI is like, let's say if the battery is made in a different country, but it's a group 35, it should be able to fit this car because the length, the width, and the height all has to be the same. So, and then of course the terminals. These are up posts, then you have some side posts. So on this particular, it's up, and like you see here, this is your ground, and this is your positive. So if you have a different connection system, you won't be able to fit this on this side. So it's always important to consider your stuff when you're buying a new battery. So the reason we decided to do this video is just to kind of give you a little scope about all types of batteries, because there's a lot of information written on them here. If you look at this battery here, it says here CCA, that's cold cranking amperage. Measure it at 0 degrees. So 550 cold cranking amperage, measure at 0 degrees, and then you have cold crank. That's usually at 32 Fahrenheit if it's not mentioned in there. And then you have here RC. The RC, that's what reserve capacity is. That's important. The reason it's important is because that's when the battery is not being charged by the alternator. That's how long you have. So reserve capacity here is measured amp minutes. So you have about 100 minutes to save, depending how much load you're using. So the minute you get, we have some videos that we made on the alternator. So if you get that battery sign on the dash, usually means the battery is not being charged or overcharged. So that's when the RC comes in handy. So when you buy a battery, the cold and crank amperage, that's usually is given. Most of the batteries are like 700 to 800 cold crank amperage. But the reserve capacity, that's very important. Let's say you shut your car off and it's not working, if you have to park it for a long time. So the reserve capacity can be drained out. So it's always a good idea to disconnect your battery whenever you're leaving it for over a month or so, you know. So basically when the car is not functioning, of course, nothing is, very few stuff are maintaining their memories. So this is one type of the battery that we're dealing with. We have a couple more examples we're going to show you. This one here, you can do a little bit of maintenance because it has those plugs, but most of the battery, actually, they come sealed. So always when you buy your battery, it's not all size fit all, so you gotta have a specific battery for your car. And we're gonna show you guys how to do a quick test on it, just if you know like your battery is gonna be good for the winter or still needs some look on it, you know. So you got positive over here, you got your ground connected. So this is a 12-volt battery, group 35. So showing us about 12, but this is just the battery sitting. So once you put a load on it, it went down to about 10 volt. So that's pretty good, because usually it's not supposed to go below 9.5. So right now like I said, it's just sitting. So when you crank it, that's what the load you're putting in. So when you load it, this is what you get. So it's about 10. So this battery is pretty good. We could tell by the load it's able to take. So once you load it, as long as it doesn't go below 9, then that's a good indicator that battery is pretty good for now. So we're gonna show you guys another. So this is 2010 Mitsubishi. So we got the owner's manual. This is a 2010 Mitsubishi Lancer. You go on the index, the same what we did, and then you go under B. It should show you what the capacity is. So on this page shows where the battery is supposed to be at. Charging system. So battery is 7.3. So you go to 7.3 and it will show you everything you need to know about the battery. So when you go on your index, that's 7.3. So you got the information here for the battery. So on this battery, like you guys see, first of all, just safety. This is acid that we're dealing with. So you got to protect your hands and your eyes. These ones here is where you add your distilled water. So this actually battery can be maintained. So if it's low, you can see on there, there's a marker over there. So you pull distilled water and then you have to charge it for a little bit so everything is blended in. Like say you open them here and this is where you fill up the distilled water. So it has a marker in there, as you can see here. So if you could just dip. This is a good idea to look at your battery. Make sure your terminals are all clean, no corrosions, they're all tightened. And that was all about this video. Peace.